Include your mic's audio. I mean, it's all on. So, I don't know. Could we?
Someday, I'm
I
gonna
guess.
finally travel the world.
But would
Got any
we
tips?
be able to both? Well, I guess
travel
like
light.
group chat, right?
But you never know when you need more socks.
Even if we're both in the
And
replay.
underwear.
Well, let's try that then,
And
I guess.
shirts. Oh, and pants.
I need to group up with you. There. Yep.
Hello.
Okay.
Real quick, hold up.
Alright. This is why I decided to do it early.
True.
So we can sort this stuff out.
Ready for battle.
Okay. Where should we probably start? Like, skip the first fight? Out of spawn?
Just go like 30 seconds in.
Yeah.
Ready for battle.
Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna double check, make sure the stream's actually up, actually running.
I'm looking at it now.
And can you hear?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I can hear
Cool,
myself,
cool.
so.
I can hear myself through it too. You can probably hear the echo from my mic.
Yeah,
Alright.
it was a little weird.
Alright. Take that down there. And I'll just let them know that we are starting. Debating if I should ping all of them or just say it and see if anyone sees it.
Probably just say it.
Yeah, fair enough.
See what happens. So it looks like the first fight happens 40 seconds in to the replay.
40? Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. There. Okay. All right. Let's get started.
All right.
All right.
So
Who...
I'd say we probably start off looking at Toxify, because he just is a little
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah. Toxify. Gotta learn the effective range just a little bit. You don't have to be that close. The crosshair, it's kind of big, but you're gonna hit most of your shots if you just back up a little bit. And you're not gonna, like... It'll make it harder for a Genji to hit you, because if you're super close, he can land all 3 shurikens on you pretty consistently. You back up a little bit, you might get hit by 2 or 1 instead. Just be a little bit easier to stay alive.
And then after that, I would say look at Mega Boom.
Yeah.
He
Also
goes in a little too aggressive here.
Yeah. And also for Toxify, just try to like not tunnel vision too much. Like you can see the Sigma like charging up the rock in the background behind the Genji. So just like trying to like be a little bit more aware of the surroundings. If you tunnel vision in too much, you'll like miss some things and get caught with a rock like that and die. So.
I need to recall.
But What
you go
what do you say?
in super hard.
Yeah. No. Uh, I would play a little bit closer to that center pillar so you don't get demacked. And if you do, you're not like, hold on. Okay, I suck at the replay stuff. Like, you're kind of like out in the middle here. And Alari, if she did actually care to shoot at you, like, you're just in the middle. Same thing for a lot of you, really. Kind of like there's no cover right here. And you might even die for this. Almost. Pretty low.
One thing I try to be more aware of is where your supports are standing. Make sure that they can actually see you and are.
Yeah. But, yeah, just for general positioning, you want to be, like, close to a wall and, like, peek off of it. Or, like, cut off as many angles as possible. If you stand out here, you have the Sigma seeing you, the Kiriko could hit you, the Alari, the Kree. If you stand a little bit closer to the center pillar, now you only have 2 people that can see you instead of 4. And also, just a side note, try to focus these pylons like as fast as possible. Like they need to go down. It's gonna be super hard to get kills without them down.
Something I'm noticing a little bit with the faulty window Lucio.
Yeah.
You're kind of sitting on
What time are you at right now?
I just got past the exact same time you are.
Okay.
But if you go back about 20-ish seconds, kind of just stays on healing a lot. A lot of the
There's a lot
time
of stuff
as
going
Lucio,
on.
a lot of the time as Lucio, your healing is not going to be enough to save someone, but speed boosting them back into cover is probably the better option.
Yeah, and to add on to that, like for the other people, like just take note of that. Like a lot of the times, Lucio is not going to be able to heal the amount of damage you take, and you will die as a result. So if he has speed on, be aware that like you can move faster. So use that opportunity to position yourself better so you take less damage, and that way you can stay alive. But yeah, because that's Lucio's greatest strength. His healing is nothing really special. If you don't speed on Lucio, you're kind of a glorified Brig. So,
I wouldn't even say a glorified Brig. Brig is
well,
just
yeah,
better
like
at that.
yeah, like watered down Brig rather. Yeah, it's just you're playing like half of a character. It's like if you were to play Ana and like not shoot the enemies or not use your heat like Bionade or anything like that. And try to stay close to those walls. You're Lucio. You're super hard to hit if you get close to those walls. Like, if you go back... Right here. Right here. Don't jump out into the middle. Try to, like, stay right here. Right here. Because your Alari's still getting healing from you, or speed if you put it on that. Yes, shield is blocking your line of sight to Saber anyways. So he's not going to get your healing. So, just back up, let Saber back up like he is now, and stay next to this wall. Also, if you, like, jump quickly off the walls, you get a lot more distance. Way more distance. So if you jumped off this center pillar, you can get pretty far, about here-ish, and then just wrap around this wall. And you stay alive. Because you go around to the right, and then die. And then here, they cap point, you're down some players, just get out. It's not worth fighting. All of you have taken damage. Your Diva's demacked. You're super low health on Sombra. I wouldn't go in. I'd back up. Just save your life. Because you're just going to stagger yourself, so it's going to take longer to get back to point, and they get some ult charge from that. Like, you going in there and dying, that Kree got some extra ult charge, so he's going to get high noon faster. You got the right idea. I think you try to shimmy here. Yeah, I would have just... You might have still died, but I would have just tried to, like, crouch right here. Not try to, like, shimmy and juke or anything. Just go down. It's better than nothing.
Alright, let's get a little bit into the next fight in like 15 seconds-ish, and then watch Toxify.
Right here. You have wall?
Coming up.
Okay. For that wall. I've noticed in a lot of the games that I've watched, you like to use it as a sort of shield. I would say the better use here is look at the distance between these four and that Sigma. Put the wall in between them. You have a Junker Queen. She can run the Sigma down, and before that wall goes down, the Sigma can be dead. And then they're down a tank. They have no way to res him or anything, and you're up a man. And also, you have to keep your wall up a lot. I don't know if you know this, but if you just hit the button again, it goes down. Like, you can just drop it.
Which is usually what you'll want to do if your team is starting to push past it, just to
Yeah.
make sure that you're not blocking your support's line of sight.
And it just, like, if you mess up a wall, it happens. Like, people make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't let those mistakes, like, stay there. If you put up a bad wall, just take it down. Like, goes on cooldown, it's whatever. You're not harming your team. It's just as if nothing happened. This was actually pretty good. We're pretty close to killing him. And you got the trade-off. It's not great to have the Ana die, but you traded an ult for life. It's not horrible. But now everybody on their team is pressing Q. Like, everyone. I would just focus on living. Don't try to get kills. Just live.
So
Hold on. I don't know if you had wall here.
I'd say go back like 10 seconds and then watch from, I think it's Mortis. His
Yeah,
point of view.
okay. Before I do that, just, you see the Ilari there? You know she's going for you too. Even if you don't end up blocking her ult with the wall, like, I see you block a lot of stuff with the wall. This would be the time to do it. Like, even if you don't block it with the wall, block off this choke so that they can't follow up on that. If you just block this off, then you guys can wait out this duration and not die. Like, your Junker Queen would still be alive right now. But, yeah. Okay. You said go back about 20 seconds and then Mortis?
Yeah.
This about the time? Like 2 minutes or
It's a little
so?
delayed, so.
I'm at 2:05.
2:19 is where I'm at, but
Okay.
2:05
I'll
is
just
good.
I'll just let it play out.
So when your team just like run away from you like they are, if you need to get to them fast, don't forget that you can swap over to speed just to get to them that 25%-ish faster.
Yeah. Speed, speed, speed. That's why Lucio exists. You want to be speeding as much as possible. Heal,
Especially
like,
in a team coordinated setting. Like
yeah. Lucio on ladder, I would say, is not a great support, but he absolutely shines in a competitive setting. Because just being able to coordinate everything and do everything 25% faster, the other team can get overwhelmed and, like, how are they going to handle that? You can just kind of run over them, bulldoze through them. Especially since you have a Junker Queen, a Mei, Genji, like, just go in. Like, call out one person and just go on that one person.
And Lucio really does not do that much healing. Like his healing per second is 16, I believe. For
Yeah.
context, the payload heals the attacking team for 10.
Yeah. You're
So,
basically walking
it's-
payload heals if you're not amping.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that much. That said, it is pretty good to save your own self because he got a recent buff so that he gets the full amp healing from it. So if you do need to get yourself out of a pinch, it used to be better to just speed, but now you can kind of, like, pick and choose on the situation.
Overall, your use of speed is a lot better overall.
Yeah. Also here, you jumped. Just a little nitpick. You jumped and then right into the middle. Just, again, position yourself closer to walls, especially as Lucio. It's more imperative to you than anyone else. because that's your main movement. If you stay near walls, you're going to be super hard to kill.
In that same fight, let's look at Saber.
What time?
2:25-ish, I think.
Okay, I'm at 224. Cool.
So, you kind of just ignore the fact that there's an Alari in your back line, and you decide to instead shoot at the Sigma who's getting healing. If you're gonna shoot at either the Sigma or the Kiriko who's there, pick the Kiriko. Shooting a tank really isn't that great.
Yeah.
But overall, the best option would be helping your team with the Alari in the back.
Yeah. Because if this Alari were to get out, this Sigma's going to be borderline impossible for you to kill. Kiriko plus Alari, that's a lot of healing. And you basically need your Ana to hit an anti-nade to be able to do anything with those two alive. So, here, you got two options, left or right. Right, you got a half-health Alari who's kind of just sitting here, doing nothing. I would have turned, finished her off pretty quickly. I think she does end up dying here. So it's not horrible, but it still would have been a lot quicker and would have been positioned better with your team. Because now they're out there on the outside of the map. You're up here. Also, while you're up here, there is the Kiriko down here. But there's also the Kree up here. You definitely could have gone onto this Kree. 1v1. Kiriko could have swift stepped, and if she does, just get out. You use one of her cooldowns, she has no more movement. If she doesn't, you can take this 1v1, possibly kill the Kree. That's value, and you have him off of high ground. At the very least, you should be trying to get him out of this power position. Because from up here, you're really the only one who can challenge him. Maybe Ana when she comes back, but honestly, actually, at this point, you have two people on the left, you in the middle, and then you have two people coming back from spawn. I would have just gotten out. Not gonna lie. But if you were gonna go in, I'd go in on this Kree, because it'd be easier to get out. You can just drop down and go there. But you kind of go in. Yeah. And this is where, like, definitely get out. Lucio, try to stay near your Mei's speed and get her out. And still. Gotta group up.
So, around 340.
340? I'm gonna watch this real quick. Okay. Did take a little long to kill the Genji, but it's just practice. Aim, stuff like that. It's whatever. Okay, you said 340?
Yeah.
Go to 333 and let it play out. Who are we watching, or just like a top-down view, or?
Top-down view is probably best.
Okay. Immediately, I noticed at 330, you guys are pretty split. You got
They
two
group
people
up
in
a
the
little
middle.
bit more, but
Yeah.
the main issue I have is this high noon.
Oh yeah, I did see this
We
earlier.
noticed in a couple of games. You guys don't seem to respond to audio cues.
Yeah.
If you don't have a headphone or like a headset,
You're playing
I
like
would
TV audio
recommend-
or something, turn it up, or like, if you have like AirPods or like Apple earbuds, just use those. Anything like
something with directional
that. Audio. Yes.
Because it is very important to know where that high noon is from. It ends up killing two of you,
Yeah.
and neither of you seem to know where it is.
Because you should be able to, like, Toxify, you should be able to hear that it's on your right. You shouldn't have to, like, look around for it. You should be able to know it's on your right, and you could have just backed up here, like Mortis and Faulty Window did. Junker Queen, I'm not going to lie, you kind of just ignored it entirely. That's a lot of damage you're taking. and
Yeah.
Saber, just because you're like might be out of LOS of it, you still gotta like know where it should be from, and like where you are in association with that. Like you kind of just perfect line of sight for him. Like he's just staring at you. Like that's an easy free kill.
And then I want it from Mega Boom's point of view.
That was a pretty good nano. Just keep you alive.
So something that I've noticed in a couple of games, you should try to like time your aggression with when you have your shout.
Yeah.
If you don't have your shout, it's a lot harder for you to stay alive. And if you do, then all of a sudden now you have a burst of, I think it's 200 something like that.
It's somewhere around 200 HP temporarily, and you get
And a
extra speed.
boost.
I would use it
So-
much more for getting out than I would for in. Getting in,
Don't start out with your shout. Use it
Yeah.
when you start to get low.
think of it less as like overhealth and more as like an instant 200 HP heal. Like more of healing than anything.
You almost
Because-
never want to use it when you're full health.
Yeah. If you're like running down one isolated person and you know they can't get away from you, sure. Like if you use it. But general rule of thumb, I'd wait until you're probably about half health. And then judging off the circumstance, if you feel like you're going to take a lot more damage, pop it and get out. If you feel like you might not take that much more damage and you trust your supports, let them heal you and save it for when you do need to get out, like badly.
Also, make sure that you are aware of your supports, like where they're at.
Yeah.
A couple of other fights that I saw in different games, it didn't seem like you knew where they were, and you
Yeah.
almost died for it.
Also, right here, just judging off this situation, Martois, again, wall. I'm sorry to nitpick, but I'm a Lucio player. Milkier is also a Lucio player, or was at least.
Not anymore. I used to.
Was at least he's the one who taught me to play Lucio. So, just those walls, man. You got to use those walls. That's your greatest strength. Speed, either like from actual speed or just like your own speed from wall riding. You got to use those walls. And then, faulty window, I'd probably back up. I'm not going to lie. Because you're exposing yourself to a flank from the Sigma. He could just wrap around you, like he is right now. Good Sigma. You get smacked twice, rocked, dead. I'd back up to about right here. You still get the same line of sight on your teammates. But now the Sigma has to wrap around this wall to get to you. Still, again, decent mana, keeps your Junker Queen alive. But yeah, you're definitely like way too much in the fray, as, I don't know. Gotta remember, you're a sniper. You should probably snipe in there.
As a sport, your main goal is, keep your teammates alive and stay alive yourself.
Yeah, I want to point that out for everyone. As much as it is a team game, play your life selfishly. Do not die for silly reasons. Stay alive. Because if everyone follows that advice, each individual player, you don't need to play as a team, but if each person plays their life selfishly, then you all stay alive. You don't need to coordinate that or anything. You don't need to depend on who to do this or who to do what if you depend upon yourself. So just focus on staying alive. And once you have that down, then you can try to get value from the life that you're like staying alive. Because you can't do anything if you're dead. You're sitting in spawn. You can't do damage, you can't heal, you can't use cooldowns, you can't ult. So if you're alive, you can do those things. So that should be the priority.
Something that the non-support players might hate me for saying. If they are off in Narnia, do not risk your own life to save them.
Yeah.
Like if Mega Doom is all the way in, like, past their choke point, do not go forward to save him unless you know for a fact that you are safe.
Yeah. It's just one death can be salvageable. But if, say, Mega Boom dies and Ana dies, that fight's lost. You're not winning that anymore. That's your main source of healing, and one of your main sources of damage plus frontline plus tempo plus everything. Tank is just imperative to stay alive. You set the pace of the game. You're basically the quarterback, if anything. Like, you control everything that's gonna happen in the game. And then everyone else just plays as pieces around you. So,
And another thing that I noticed at the end of this fight, you guys die with 2 ults and almost a third ult.
yeah.
You don't have to get the perfect ult to get value out of it. Honestly, in like higher ranks, Maze will get 1 or 2 with Blizzard, and that's all you really need.
Yeah. You don't
like-
look for massive ults. Like, even like, say if you're playing Reaper or something, just ulting a sitting alone Ana, that's value. That's their main source of healing gone. Ana's always the main source of healing. That's gone. The team kind of just crumples. Or if you can secure a kill on the tank, that's probably a one fight. Stuff like that. You don't need to get 5 people with an ult. Just 1, 2. That's more than good enough.
And especially
Here?
in this scenario, they don't have a Kiriko. And
I would have
so
Junker
your-
Queen ulted
your
right
Junker
here.
Queen ult, yeah.
You have amped healing from Ana, so you're gonna get, what is it, 50% more healing? Pretty
Yes,
sure.
50%.
50% more self healing from your ult. I would just go through them. There's 4 of them grouped up. You might not hit the Genji, but still, that's 3 people. And like he said, there's no Kiriko. They can't Suzu it. They're gonna take that damage. So why would we ult it right here? A little bit earlier.
Sigma.
Yeah. And if you ult there, she might not pop that ult. If she does, she might die popping that ult. And then you have these 2 dead, or backing off, whatever. And then Genji's by himself. You're not split between them.
When you are this close to getting your ultimate on Lucio, you need to make sure that you don't die.
Yeah.
Like, and this is the one time where it's okay for you to be on healing for a while to just get that ult charge a little bit faster.
Yeah. It's kind of an advanced concept, but something that I would recommend doing is trying to predict what ults the other team might have. If you've noticed that this Sigma hasn't ulted in a while, he probably hasn't. So you should be ready, like, especially for Lucio. Out of all these characters, definitely Lucio the most, because yours is more of a reactive ult. You don't use it proactively. You use it in reaction to something they do. So if you know he might have Gravitic Flux coming up, and you don't have ult yet, try to focus on getting as much ult charge as you can, so that you have it before he uses his ult. Because that could be the difference between winning or losing a fight. And also, you can use it to determine where people are. If you know Kree is, like, probably going to have his ult, he might not walk down here in the middle. He's probably going to go up the high ground. It's just kind of common sense. Like, you get more viewing area. So if you know he probably has ult, you can cut him off before he gets up here. Or punish him for going up there.
Let's get into the next point.
Yeah.
So, at about 5:40,
Ready for battle.
let's watch Toxify.
You won't be disappointed.
I hope we win. I didn't dress for defeat.
Helping you recover.
Yeah, and I think a lot here, you do a lot of, like, kind of frontlining as Soldier. You have pinpoint accuracy. There's no bloom on this whatsoever. He's one of the few heroes in the game that, like, shoots rapid fire and there's no bloom. Where you're aiming, the bullet will go. You can back up a little bit.
Also, like, as a soldier, and this also goes for the Vegeta and Life Weaver, take the high ground. It is so
Yeah.
much harder for them to get a kill on you if they can't see all of you and you're not right in their face.
Yeah, if you take high ground as Soldier, you get a lot... Okay, let's look here. Soldier, you get a lot of viewing area. You can see 4 people, 3 people, maybe 4. Brig walks forward a little bit. 3 or 4 people from up here. And realistically, who can get to you? Like, the Sigma might be able to throw some balls at you. That's it. I don't think she can even jump high enough to get up there. She might be able to snipe at you, but you can just back up if you take some damage. Brig can't do anything. And Genji's probably the only one who can do something. You can climb up. So just take this high ground, and it's like, it's kind of like cover. It's not exactly like a wall like this, but if you back up on it, they can't see you. It works the same way as cover, and you have advantage because you get to see more of them than they can see of you.
And then the bridge. I would definitely stay on the high ground. It might be really counterintuitive, but you don't want to play Brigitte in melee range.
Yeah,
Brigitte's role is the bodyguard. Like,
yeah,
she helps
precisely.
protect your other support. So you kind of sit around next to them and to just throw out your whip shot to get your Inspire going.
Yeah. So, since you have a Life Weaver, it's probably not a huge deal for you to bodyguard your support, but I bodyguard your soldier instead. You kind of want to just do that for your hit scans. Like, anyone who's going to be playing from a distance. So, like, if you had an Ana, she might be sitting, like, back here, up here or so. I'd place yourself up here, so that Genji... Where's he at? Where's their Genji at? There's Genji that's right here?
It's almost impossible for a Genji to kill a support who's getting help from their Brig.
Yeah, if that Genji had decided to go on, say, like an Ana back here, or if Soldier placed himself back here, or up on high ground, how is the Genji gonna kill him? Like, he has to go through two people, first of all, and that's not including the fact that you're Brig. It's gonna be super hard to kill you, and it's gonna be super hard to kill him. He's not gonna be able to do anything. And then, Soldier gets free reign because of that. He can do whatever he wants. And kind of just run the lobby like that.
The only times that you really want to be going in as Brig is when you're already, like, when you've already gotten 2 kills.
Yeah, like a kill or two if they're on the retreat. If they've already used cooldowns, like, you're not gonna get slapped with Cass's nade or like up rock from Sigma or something. You can go in, but make sure you do it with your team. Don't do it by yourself. You're not Reinhardt. You're still 200 HP squishy. If you get hit with a rock,
or you have rally. If you have rally, you can go.
yeah, rally's perfectly fine to go. That's when you kind of want to play as a Reinhardt. It's like temporary Reinhardt, but that stun's pretty huge. And also as Brig, if you know someone's gonna like do something soon, going back to the ult thing, if you think Sigma's gonna ult soon, you could maybe push up a little bit close to him. Just like play this wall or something. If he had ult right now, you could play this wall a little bit, and as soon as you hear it, as soon as you hear the voice line, pop rally and stun him. He gets no value out of that ult.
Yeah, that's not super consistent to do, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But
it's something that you can do to try and be more proactive, like make a play, rather than waiting for someone else to do it for you. But, yeah. I do want to say, I've watched quite a bit of gameplay of you on Faulty Window on Life Weaver. The Life Weaver is unironically very good. One of the better ones I've seen, even in my ranks. Like, not horrible. Although you do click a little bit for no big reason, but yeah. I like how
try to stay out of the middle of the fight as Life Weaver. There's really no reason for you to be in there.
Yeah, but I do like how I don't think it was this map. I think it was Busan that I saw. You're a lot of way more aggressive. Like you use your it's not. I don't think it's primary fire, but you use your thorn volley more often than a lot of them do. That's good. Like even looking here, looking at all the ult charges, you have the highest ult charge in lobby. If you get that tree first, I mean that's huge. And since you are getting your ult so fast, use your ult fast. Because then you know they don't have anything to answer for it. If you wait, then Brig might get rally, and they kind of like cancel each other out. Okay, you guys have point here. I would push up a little bit. Try to take some space. Because if you kind of just sit on point, like, this is better than out there. You guys are kind of falling back. Yeah, much better like this. Toxify, I'd go up a little bit too. just stay grouped up. Because, yeah, they can flank, but it might be 1 or 2 people. And you can come back as a group. So, and still, I would honestly be on high ground still. If you're on high ground, you can see them come out from under there. See if they go there. If they go inside, you can deal with them. I would still just park right up here on high ground.
Hop on.
There's those guys on the left beside the flank, as they are right now. You can see them. Okay. This is where some team-oriented stuff is going to come in. Need some basic communication here. There's a brig right here. She is by herself. By herself. There's no one even remotely close to her. I want all of you that are even remotely close, which right now is 4 people, to focus that brig. Now it's all 5. Like, she should just, like, she shouldn't even be able to get out of right here. Everyone should be calling for that brig. She does end up dying, but it takes a little bit, and then these people on the left come out. Does end up working well though.
So, I've watched ahead.
Yeah.
Most of the rest of this point is just the same things that we've been
Yeah.
mentioning.
I do want to say right here though, hold on, let me go back like 10 seconds and watch you, Saber. Okay. There's an Alari right here. Right here. Everyone's focused on the Sigma. Alari's beam, how much healing does her beam do again? Like 100 heals per second?
It's 120 healing per second.
120 healing per second. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's like
More
if
than
you had
any other
more...
support.
That's like if you had more, like 2 mercies attached to the same person. Plus a little bit more. That's a lot of healing. Focus her. You're not going to be able to kill him while she's healing him.
I believe it's almost as much as an Ana shooting someone who has the yellow effect on them.
Yeah, that's 50%. That's what, 75. So yeah, it's about there.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think hers is 115. So yeah, about the same. She does end up dying. We are being kind of nitpicky, I will admit, but like, just because stuff turns out well doesn't mean you can't do it better. So, like, you want to create good habits.
There's a difference between it happening to work out and that being the plan.
Yeah, you want to create good habits. Like, some things will work, even if they shouldn't work, but they should. Like, you should want to do something that, like, you want to have a plan in place, like an idea, like a purpose for all your intentions. You don't want to, like, just wander about or anything. So if you can create those good habits, good plans, then you'll get more success more often. Even if, like, bad plans work sometimes. Good plans work most of the times. So. Yeah, Saber, I can see your, I can see that your name's Saber. But.
So I am now at 920. If you,
920?
unless you want to keep going on
Okay.
this.
Let's watch this a little bit. Yeah, Saber, if you have any questions, or anyone else in chat, you're the first one that I've seen. I believe the only other person watching this currently is the person I'm talking to. If you have any questions, please ask. Like, I encourage you to ask. Okay, you said 320? Holy crap, what was that audio?
920.
Time to do a lot of skipping. General tips? It's kind of hard to say general tips. I would say...
Play your life, focus on supports and not the tank.
Yeah, I notice you go in a lot. When you watch this video back, when you're on Genji on first point, like, you're kind of in there, like, all the time, with, like, no regard for where your supports are. You're kind of doing it right now, actually. Like, there's a tree here, so that's not horrible. That dude's full HP. He's gone. There's a Hanzo right behind you with a Storm Arrow. I'd worry about him. And the same thing, Life Weaver's right here. If you worry about him, stay on this side, you can get healed. So just like, try to be a little bit more aware of where your supports are. You can argue if it's a good position or bad position, but it doesn't really matter. Like,
Positioning is very much so contextual.
yeah. Like, you might think it's a
yeah,
bad position your supports are in, and even on our Overwatch team, we've had, like, fights about and stuff like that, but, like, in the end, it doesn't really matter. If it's a bad position, and you think it's a bad position, then you still have to take note of it. Like, you have to know, like, that's where they are. Even if you think it's a bad spot, you gotta position yourself around where they are. And this is just kind of like chaos. Stuff just kind of happens.
This game seems to just be like a general skill diff. Like, you guys
Yeah.
are just better than these guys. But
Yeah.
that doesn't
At least second
necessarily
point.
mean that there's nothing to learn from.
Yeah. And I mean, also, we're not reviewing their team. They're probably making just as many, if not, like, way more mistakes. But we're just not pointing those out because that isn't really what we're here to do. I do like how I said earlier, the Lara healing the Sigma. I do like that you kind of ignored the Sigma there and went for the break instead. That's a good play. And in general, you want to play, like, to try to get those supports.
Alright, skip ahead to like 9:20.
I'm at 9:35. I'll go back a little bit. 9:17 now.
Alright.
Anyone in particular?
Go for Toxify again.
This is it. Come on, team.
So,
Oh yeah, and since you just said work on positioning a little bit more, Saber, like, I'll just like tell you the general idea of how you want to base your positioning. I can't tell you what is a good and bad position because, like, it depends on where they are, it depends on where your team is, it depends on tons of different things, what cooldowns are available. But you always, like, whenever you're in fights, want to try to place yourself near walls. Think of it as a Reinhardt barrier with infinite HP. They can't shoot through it. So, if you hug these walls, hug walls in anything you do, it's harder for you to die. I kind of mess with the flank, not gonna lie. But you kind of go here, I would have just wrapped further around. I wouldn't go all the way in. Just kind of pepper this ram a little bit, make him look at you.
Right where Saber is where I want Toxify to be.
Yes, absolutely.
That spot as a soldier is like crazy strong. It's really hard for them to get to you unless they want to spend a lot of time to get there, and you can just run away.
Yeah, and Saber, you said you'd play like Reaper and Ashe. You're going to the left on Reaper, that's good. But this would be a good spot to take on Ashe. For the same reasons, it's a good spot to take on Soldier. It's just kind of hard to get you out. You see a lot of them. You control the entire point from up here. They can't touch the point without you seeing.
As Reaper, I would say go more to the right side, where it's a lot closer.
Yeah.
As Reaper, you want to be fighting right next to them. Kind of what Toxify has been doing on the longer range characters. So honestly,
you
two
should like swap spots. But yeah, like I said, I mess with the idea of the flank, but to execute it better, I'll go a little bit closer. You have shotguns. Make them play in shotgun range. Not gonna really do much sniping from up here with shotguns. Same thing goes for like Diva. Like, you're not gonna be doing much damage. They're not really gonna care. So you gotta be close to make them care.
Similar to what I said with Mega Boom earlier and on Junker Queen, you don't want to go aggressive as Reaper unless you have Wraith form.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're just gonna die. You're a very big hitbox for DPS, it's super easy to kill you.
Oh, shit. Okay. Let's go back here. What time are you at right now?
Oh, I've just been watching from you, so I'm
Okay.
still at the 920.
I'll go back a little bit then. I accidentally skipped forward. Saber. I don't know how great your reaction time is, but yeah, okay, you're a little close, so I don't think you could have reacted to that properly. You do have shotguns. You don't have to be like inside of them though to hit them. You can back up just a little bit to give yourself some time to react to this nade. Once this nade is gone and you're not hit by it, you're fine. But if you get hit by this nade, like he said about Wraith, even if you have Wraith, you can't use it if you get hit by that nade. So do what you can to avoid that nade at all costs. So, yeah, if your reaction time's not the greatest, just give your little, like, a buffer zone. If you get closer to them, it's going to be harder to react. So just give yourself a little zone so that you can give yourself more time. And then you'll not get hit by that. Or if he does throw it out, you can Wraith before it hits you and just dip. And then wait for Wraith to come back, go back in, shoot them up, and then Wraith out. And that's kind of like the game plan as Reaper. It's pretty simple. Just pepper, do as much damage as you can, get out. Do as much damage as you can, get out. Do as much damage as you can, get out. Until they die.
So, start watching Mega Boom.
Yeah. This ended up okay, but as soon as your Reaper goes down, guys, I would, it ends up okay because your soldier immediately gets a pick back and you guys get their brig. But, what's this? Okay, never mind. You guys trade 1 for 1. I thought the brig died after. But if your brig, if their brig was to die after, I'd focus on just holding this area. You don't have to go forward. You guys have the point at this point. At this moment. You don't have to go forward for it.
So I'm at 10:35 right now, watching
10?
from Mega Booms.
You said 10:35 or 9:35?
10.
10:35? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Immediately, I notice you guys have 2 people dead. I wouldn't have done that. Okay, so instead of doing that, just kind of sit. Hold on. Let's play out a little bit. To get your mech back. You see him do that? Saber's already going inside. He's taking cover. He might peek, but yeah, he's fine from this high noon. And then your Life Weaver, he's LOSing it as well. Like, I don't think he can get seen from here. Yeah, he can't get seen from it. So, there's no need to go in here. Like, at all. Just, like, while you were back here, just, like, hold your defense matrix and just back out. Just get out of there, wait it out. Instead of going in. Because now, not only does he have that, you're not really going to kill him. I think, isn't it 50% damage reduction or 40 or something now? What is it?
I'm not sure what number it is, but it's enough.
Yeah. He has damage reduction in high noon. So you're not dealing with 225 HP. You're dealing with much more than 225 HP plus healing. And that's an Alari. We already stated this earlier. You're not killing to a Alari healing. Like, let me go back here. Let me just look at this dude's health bar.
It's high time.
You're the only one shooting at him? She didn't even heal him. He just didn't take that much damage. That might have been enough to kill without the damage reduction, but that's still a lot, so.
And even if you decide to go in, which we already discussed why that's not the correct play, you can use your defense matrix to eat his high noon. Like,
Yeah.
it will not do any damage to anyone if you have your defense matrix right over him. And
Yeah.
it's a long time now. Like, it's 3
You
seconds,
can,
I think.
yeah, you have a
Um,
long time on that. So,
so as soon as you think he has charged it up enough to kill something, start holding it on to him. He
yeah.
probably won't be able to kill you.
Yeah.
Um,
And I just want to go over another reason of why it's probably not a great idea to go in. Even excluding the Hainan. Say he didn't use Hainan. He's just normally sitting here and you go in. You have Saber who is about half health. Lifeweaver is about to lose his pedal, so he's about to lose his positioning advantage. There's 4 people. Kree, Hanzo, Alari. They do a ton of damage. A ton. His is 70 per shot. She does 120 on headshots, I think, and 75 on body shots. Something along those lines.
it's 112
112?
headshot.
Yeah. And then Hanzo deals, I mean, it's Hanzo.
Yeah, that's 120 per body shot.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Even, like, holding defense matrix, whatever, you're probably still going to get demech there. And you guys have 2 people all the way back here. And they have 4 right here. And now you're dead. Now there's 2 of them. 2 of you. This is the prime time to get out. Take your percentage, take that 31%, and leave. Because now, you're gonna die, and Saber's probably gonna die a little bit later. I will admit, you guys got some pretty decent percentage out of that, and an ult. But a better team wouldn't have needed to pop that ult, probably would have punished you faster. So you can't play around bad teams. You have to prepare for them to be better than you, and try to outplay them. So, yeah.
Alright. Watch from Megaboom's perspective right here.
Yeah. This just goes in it. I keep forgetting.
Automatic.
I keep doing that. Which just goes back into, like, staggering yourself. Where's your team at? I want you guys to be asking yourself questions as you play. Right now, where is your team at? 3 of them are dead. You have 1 coming out of spawn. What should you be doing instead? Like, and everyone needs to be asking themselves these questions.
Especially do not ult 1v5.
Is he about to do that?
This.
Oh my. Okay. If you feel the absolute need to do that, there's still a better way too. You went. Don't let's look. You flew around on the ground here. If you absolutely need to do that, which I would implore you not to, but I can't tell you what to and not to do. I can just give suggestions. Fly up, pop your ult. While it's flying, you'll land on this side as Baby Diva and not be in the middle of all of this crap. Like, you could easily just get, like, headshot by this Alari before this even blows up and then, like, meleeed by this Ram and you're dead. If you, like, pop the ult, make it fly over, you can't take any damage here.
And honestly, Diva ult is not a good ultimate. The best use for Diva ult most of the time is just as an extra life. Because when you're dying, when it's doing that that animation where it's like breaking down, you can use your Diva bomb and it'll still work.
Yeah.
And then after it blows up, you get your mech back immediately. So it's a second mech for free.
Yeah. And if you need to find an alternative application for it, it's good for zoning. Never expect a kill from it. I would never expect a kill from it unless there's like a specific combo you did, like Somber EMP plus Diva Bomb, or like you Diva Bomb the Graph, something like that. but using it
Bombing a
by
grab. That's a Overwatch one.
yeah. Oh wait, yeah, man, yeah, that is Overwatch one, isn't it?
My man forgot what game we're playing.
I did. Yeah, you can even do that. Oh, um,
Genji tips for his ultimate.
I need a better way to look at chat.
He
Can't really
just
see it.
asked. So this is a
Yeah,
question on Genji tip for his ult. I would recommend pick a target before you go,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
then when you go, first off, make sure you have deflect. And then I would dash up, not like straight up, but like kinda up, and then pop your ult because it gives you a dash reset when you pop your ult. And then find that target that you chose and dash at them and kill them.
Yeah,
And then look for someone else. Kind of have an idea of who you want to kill before you go.
and
In this
as you
comp,
get
that's
better at
really hard.
that, yeah, and as you get better at that, you'll start to think, okay, I'm gonna go from this person to this person, and then like it's just kind of like a domino effect. Like just start off with one person. As you get better and like can reliably get that one person every time, most of the time, then start to think ahead before you pop your ult. It's like, what two people should I do? Which people are going to be in good positions for me to get? Stuff like that. And then, like, Necros, if you ever watched him, he probably has a perfect idea of where all five players are as soon as he pops his ult. He could probably close his eyes and still get a 5k. Just because he knows where everyone is, knows which people he wants to get first, knows which person to go from to get to each person. So, just start thinking ahead. But
And if they use an ultimate like Zenyatta's Transcendence or Lucio's Beat, you don't want to go in against that. Like,
yeah,
say you
cut your
dash up, you
losses.
pop your ult, and then they use Transcendence, just back up.
Yeah.
It's
You traded
it
an ult
might
for an
suck.
ult.
It might
Yeah.
suck thinking like, oh, I didn't get any kills with this,
Yeah.
but getting rid of a Transcendence is a big deal.
Yeah. I also do want to know here. I think your diva is baby diva, so you only have 4 ults, but still, when you have this many ults loaded up, start talking to each other. Which ones should
Yeah,
you guys use? It's like, okay, so this fight, I want to use, say, I don't know,
Reaper
Rally,
Death Blossom.
yeah, Rally and Death Blossom together. These aren't very good ults to combo, I will not lie. There's not a lot of synergy between these ults. Or like, you don't even need to combo the ults, but like,
Think abilities. I,
yeah, that's value. That's
as Life
value.
Weaver, am going to pedal up my soldier when he uses his ult, and
Yeah,
now he has a high ground on everyone.
yeah, that's what I was supposed to say. But Saber said something about full teams popping their ult when he ults his Genji. That's value. That's
Oh yeah,
huge value.
that's
Because there's
crazy.
a ton of teams that won't talk to each other or anything. Like, you think about planning ahead with ults. Like, if you think Genji might have ults, say you're on the receiving side of a Genji ult, talk to each other. If you have, like, some stupid comp that has, like, Zen Brig, well, Zen Brig isn't really that bad,
Yeah,
honestly, if you have, like, a
well,
ball or
let's
something.
say Bap Zen, and
Yeah.
your Baptiste uses Lamp instead of just letting the Transcendence do it.
Yeah. Or like beat and rally or what other combo you guys might end up having as like support ultimates. Just talk about which one you want to use if he does something. So you don't end up popping multiple ults for one.
Yeah, if you
Cuz
if you use Blade and they use 4 ults to counter you, all of a sudden they only have 1 ult left.
yeah, they didn't get anything out of those 4 ults. And if you cut your losses, they definitely didn't get anything cuz now you're still alive. So, you might lose your blade, but like who cares?
Who cares? It's
Yeah.
Blade is a questionable ult right now,
It's
unless you
it's
have mana.
fun and it looks super cool in clips, but it's honestly it's an okay ult at best, and it's super high skill expression. You have to be really really good to get a lot out of it. So if you can pop that blade, and they use 4 super valuable ults, That's good. You might as well just consider that 2 kills or something. Like that's a lot of value. Okay, so
Who do we want to watch? I haven't looked ahead.
I'm at 11:18 right now. I'm just gonna talk about general positioning. Mega Boom. Once again, ask yourself,
yeah.
where's your team? You have a Life Weaver? Yeah. You should be planning ahead, and it's pretty good. But, yeah. You have a Life Weaver here, Mega Boom? Like, that's it. That's all you got. You got Saber, his Reaper. He's not gonna be able to do a ton. I don't know why they popped that ult, though. I'm not gonna lie. They're just
And
giving you guys
if-
value. They're beating
If
themselves.
you are running back from spawn, and you see that your team is going in, just shout at them, "I am not there." Like,
Yeah.
the amount of times that I will shout at my team.
Obviously,
"You
don't
are
be
missing
mean.
a Kiriko."
Don't be
Yeah,
mean
don't
to
be
your team
mean.
or anything. We have a very different dynamic up
That's
like
true.
when we play college teams. It's more like 5 friends, not in a school setting, doing this type of stuff. I don't know how well acquainted you guys are with your teammates. Absolutely, above all else, I don't care about any gameplay. Do not flame your teammates, ever,
Yeah, don't. When I say
ever.
yell, I just mean
So
make it obvious that you're not there. Don't
yeah,
scream at them.
I just wanted to take that opportunity to say, don't be that guy. They're currently doing tryouts for college too, and there's this guy that does a little bit of flaming, and he's not
Just a
very
little
well
bit of
liked.
trolling.
He's not very well liked, and as a result, he's not very well respected either. So, even if just for your own benefit, don't flame, don't flame, don't yell at your team. Be civil. Like, don't try to think that you're better or anything else. Absolutely never, ever, ever, ever. That's above all else. But back to the game. Did he have that ult the whole time? I would have. If you felt the need to pop the ult, pop tree, definitely do it before your diva gets that low.
I think the idea was to try to save the diva, but he did it slightly too late.
Yeah, that's
Does he have,
what.
he have pull?
Let's check. Pull right there. Before you jump down, pull. You can save the opportunity to use that ult. You can save your diva.
As soon as you see him go
As soon as you see, I would say this. I would take this as a general rule of thumb for most tanks. Most tanks are probably fine while they have armor. As soon as you see that armor gone, they're in the danger zone. They can die fast, really fast. So as soon as that armor's gone, like right here, pull. Just yoink them. Get them out of
you
there.
might get yelled at for pulling them away when they try to go in, but just know that you saved them.
That would be the good play. Even if he's upset or whatever else, that is the good play there. And for most tanks, I would play around their armor. I wouldn't ever really pull a tank that has most of their armor. Also, speaking of pulls, this is just something that's happened to me recently. If you're playing Ramatra with a Life Weaver, communicate that you are going to use Annihilation. Tell your Life Weaver you're going to use it. Gives you 200 armor or something along those lines instantly for just popping it. You're not going to die using Annihilation, so Life Weaver doesn't need to pull you. And if he does pull you, you're going to lose that ult. So please just tell your teammates what you're going to do. You don't have to tell your teammates what to do. Tell them what you're going to do.
And as a Life Weaver, or honestly just any support, try to keep an idea of what cooldowns your tank has.
Yeah. I'd also say just general support tips and stuff for like more flex supports that have to pick and choose who they heal, not like Lucio, where they kind of just heal everyone around them, but like Life Weaver, Ana, BAP, etc. I think I saw this on your Suravasa game. If your tank has a cooldown that keeps them alive, say Diva has Defense Matrix, and you know she's going to use it, and you have to pick between, say, like a half health Diva that has no armor, or like if Saber had like no Wraith and like half health, heal Saber. He can use Defense Matrix to keep himself alive, and has more HP in general. heal the person in bigger danger. And in that scenario, it'd be him, since he had no Wraith. Stuff like that. Just take note of, like... And, like, half health... You see like, a tank and a DPS, they're both half health. Half health for, like, Hog is, like, 450 or something, 350. Half health for Tracer is 75 HP. You gotta take that into account. Just the percentage of health bar doesn't tell you a whole lot about, like, take note of, like, what is, if it's half of what? 75 HP is one shot to a couple things. Quite a few things, really. Whereas
A lot of
300,
things.
whereas, like, 300, not. Like, a Tracer, if she's 75 HP and she gets, like, she can get hit with, like, a 60% charged arrow from Hanzo and die. Like,
And that's something that you'll get a much better understanding of as support the more you play.
Yeah.
And also, if you are farther back and can see everyone. If you're in the middle of a fight, chances are there's probably a Reaper flanking without Wraith who is half health and you don't know about it.
Yeah, don't cause chaos for yourself. Put yourself in a spot where you can acknowledge all the things that are happening. One of the biggest things, even outside of a competitive team setting, just for climbing, is awareness. You don't have to have great awareness like $400 headset, friggin' max FOV, although I do recommend that, and etc. But putting yourself in a spot where you can kind of see what's happening. If you put yourself right into the middle of everybody, it's just chaos. Like, you can't tell what's going on. I wouldn't be able to tell what's going on. Most GM players wouldn't be able to tell what's going on. Top 500, they wouldn't know. But they wouldn't put themselves in that spot.
Where I lose track of things.
Yeah, but that's like the thing that separates them, though, is those people won't put them in that position so that they don't know what's going on. So just try to avoid, like, getting into the middle of everything. Because, like, Mega Boom, I'm not going to lie, you do that a lot. Like, the Kree scenario, even here, like, what's going on here? Like, can you tell what's going on? I can barely tell what's going on. I'm watching it from third person. Like, you don't notice that Kree on the left. Shoot. Like, I wouldn't even be able to notice this Hanzo if I was you right now. He's literally inside the ram. You just, like, space yourself out a little bit, you can notice what's happening. And, yeah, the tree, I would have done that quite a bit sooner. I would have pulled first, but if you're not going to pull, I'd do this, like, as soon as he loses that armor.
Things happen. Say you make that mistake with the tree. Don't
good.
let it bother you for too long. Just, like, acknowledge it happened. Oh well, move on.
This is a good old. I'm not gonna lie. They're all distracted. They're doing whatever. This is the time to take advantage of the chaos. Because you don't gotta worry about who's around you at this point. You take note of them before you go in. But you got 2 kills. Ram's low. Cass is 1. Hanzo's low. That's a good old. What was that dragon? I don't know why he did that. Yeah. Try to avoid that. Like, if you know the fight's lost, don't use an ult or something to, like... You only get so many ults a game. Don't do what that Hanzo did.
And sorry if this review for this one map is really long. We're trying to go over a lot of things here.
And we're trying to also, like, separate it a little bit by individuals, because to be good in a team setting, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So you need to, like, up the individuals of each person. Or fundamentals, not individuals. The fundamentals of each individual person. So just trying to focus on this person's doing that, this person's doing that, this person's doing that. And then once you have a better understanding of how to play better yourself, then you can kind of mesh that all together to play as a team.
One thing I would like to mention, watch Toxify at 12 minutes.
Okay.
This man is doing exactly what I wanted him to do.
What is he doing?
He's going up on the left side.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, I didn't see him turn around yet. I was at 11:55. I was just about to say, go up to the high ground. I was just about to say that.
And then he hears the Ilario and pops Pfizer.
Yes, that's a great play.
amazing. So please use your healing field when you start taking damage.
Yeah, there's a couple times where you've caused us some great anxiety. Like,
Yeah.
same goes for like Lucio or anyone else with a self heal. Like, please don't let yourself get to like 5 HP before you use it. It's scary. Scary, scary to watch. Use a little bit earlier.
I think we're only doing one map though, right?
Yeah, I don't want to get it too long, because if we do multiple maps, it's like 5 hours worth of crap. So,
Yeah, we've been going for 70.
yeah, this is already a super long VOD review. Some are like 30, but we're breaking down every single fight. So,
Every fight, every player. So
yeah. And this is a whole lot easier one-on-one, because then I could not worry about each individual person. Say if I was just watching Toxify, that'd probably cut the length of this down like 80%.
so much.
So,
Get out of my way, I'll run you over.
But
yeah.
it is.
I do want to admit though, Toxify, you're pretty good at landing these helixes. Here's one of the where I was talking about the anxiety. Look how low you are. Look how low you are, man. Please just put you're still not popping it. You please put it down. Please. I'm begging you. You're so low. But I think that's pretty much all of it. Yeah.
Alright.
I don't have too much more to add. So whenever you guys do go over this, it's gonna be long. You might need to break it up in those sections. To break it, if you do need to break it up, I'd break it up point by point,
Yeah.
so you can make it a little bit more manageable. I'll cut everything down a little bit longer. First point's gonna be the longest, probably. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it.